I mean, the lowest you can get is 15%. The lowest you can get. Let's get rid of, like, why am I getting taxed? Who's taxing me? Who's getting it? Where is it going? I'm the king. Is it going to the king? When I was king, I never got it. Like, where is this? Is this just taking, like, resources? See, like, what is that about? Hey, welcome back, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. This is The Knox Show. As you can see, the title of this video is about Keep 40. And Evony sees a lot of new players coming in. So what do? They add Keep 40. I don't know if this is going to keep the retention rate that they're expecting low. I think this is dramatically going to increase the retention rate. I was part of a game, Mobile Strike, 6-7 years ago. Once they came out with their first patch, this was when it was just Keep 21. They increased it to 25. I was like, I just hit max. I was having a lot of fun. I'm like, I'm out. So I don't know how it's going to go. Hopefully it's just a publicity stunt. Hopefully it's just to create a lot of talk in the community. I would like to see them add more qualities of life rather than just stretch the game out. But anyways, let's dive into this. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to talk about this Keep 40 business. I don't know where these screenshots are coming in, but they're all fuzzy. I was like, man, I don't know who's taking these screenshots or what. Their screen isn't in focus. I don't get it. But anyways, I just got this from somebody. Probably got this from somebody who got this from somebody. So I don't know if the quality is just getting lost in translation. I'm just gonna put this. I'm just gonna call these patch notes. These really aren't patch notes. I'm just gonna put them up on the screen. Pretty much everybody knows what it's talking about. It got released 2 days ago on the beta server. I kind of wanted to get my feedback, my input into it, and yeah, that's what we're doing right now. So I'm mainly gonna talk about. So I like how Evony is adding things to the game. I think that's a good thing. But I think the way that they're doing this is more of, it looks like a money grab to me. And I don't know if I want to say maybe 5% of the actual overall players are like looking for something new and pushing it to 40. I would say 95% of the players, especially with all these new servers coming out, half these players probably level 25 and they're happy. They're trying to get to level 27. They're trying to get their T11s, and they're getting close. And then like these things just like let's add more weight on your shoulders. So I'm hopefully not going to make this whole video a rant. I just don't think that this is a good way to approach this right now with so many new players coming into this game. That's my big thing. They're adding a lot when I wish they would just listen to the community, add quality of life improvements, and then slowly incrementally add maybe levels or keep levels. I don't like the fact of them just going to 40, just like bam. I looked at the resources on there. I had some screenshots on there. I'm not going to put them up. Everybody's seen them. It's like 50 billion to get just Keep 40. There's numbers around. They're floating like 500 million, or not 500 million, 150 billion for 35 to 40, and that's just the keeps. So I mean, as everybody knows, keeps have so many prerequisites. You're probably looking at, 500 billion. I'm ballparking here. I'm guesstimating, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's going to be crazy numbers. And especially the way the resources are available. I don't know if they're planning on adding a lot of ways to get resources, and not even resources. When you have the resources, like, where are the speed ups coming from? Like they're targeting a 1% of their game, and they're basically putting 99% of their game on the back burner and saying, sucks to suck. I think that's corporate suicide almost, for lack of better terms. I think they're getting a lot of blowback. I'm gonna put blowback on them too. Normally I like to have positive, upbeat videos, but I don't think I'm digging this 40 right now. Like I just hit 30. I'm looking at trying to get my archers to 14, and I got to get my wall just 2 billion. It was like 2.3 to 3 billion. It's like, okay, there's so many things to. And then they're going to add T15s in there. I like the T15 idea. I'm just not ready for it. And I don't think a lot of our players are ready for it. So what I would like to see them do, let me throw this. You guys know what this basically says. Say on the beta server, this was 2 days ago on October 20th. They're going to be including level 40s, new buildings, new features. I do like how they're going to make the city larger, and I don't know if that's internally. And they're adding a lot of buildings. I'm like, man, it's already clustered in there. Like, especially if you're fighting and there's a bunker and there's so many things to click on. Yes, adding things would be awesome, but there's quality of life improvements. The delay. Evony wants a bigger streaming community, and I've been streaming and I've been talking about it on my stream about the disadvantage of streaming when you're playing, especially when you're on computer. It's very difficult. I am at an extremely big disadvantage over a mobile phone player. I would personally, for speed, I would rather be on my phone. You would think computer would be faster, smoother, transition better. It's completely opposite. And the way these emulators work is I had to go into like my developer settings on my computer to unlock 4 core processors to devote to this game, because by default, I'm pretty sure that's why a lot of players don't do this, because they haven't figured out how to by default these emulators you just have one processor that works it, and it just that one processor. Like I had to get a new computer. I'm pretty sure it shot my old processor. So anyways, that's a long story, but let's get these quality and life improvements. If Evony wants more streamers, for one, you need to make the quality of life better. You need to make the experience more enjoyable for the actual guys that are doing it. I played Raid Shadow Legends. They actually had their own program that you opened up. And I would also like to see not just, like how small this screen is. I'm going to go back to the game here. Not how, like, this screen is so tiny. You want guys to stream it and there's all this extra space on the side. Like, let's fill the screen up, there's just so much, like, look at all these, like, I remember when I first started watching these YouTube videos, I'm like, what is going on? Why is this stuff so small? It's how it's designed. These emulators, like, get off the emulator. Make your own program, Evony, that fills up the screen. Allows me to widen this thing out so people, when they're watching it, they can see more on my screen. If you want a better experience. Anyways, I won't get into just the way I see it, but here I'm going to dive into some quality of lives that I would prefer them to go versus just adding keep 40 and it looks like a money grab. So I would like them to add a way for players to rate generals. I'm going to go into another game I was talking about. Raid Shadow Legends was a game I was playing before this. I got some YouTube videos on that. And what they did is you could actually, when you get they called them heroes, our generals, kind of all games are like that, right? Everybody could rate this general, right? So the community could say, hey, he's really good at this, he's really bad at that, he's really bad at that. This game needs to add that. We're taking in players from other alliances, and these guys are linking their generals, and I'm like, what are you doing? So add something on there where we can actually rate these generals in game. So I can go in here, click a general. I don't use her anymore. You guys can laugh at me. Haha. Yep. Cool. Anyways, have a thing up here where you can click instead of, sharing it. It's like right over here. And then everybody can rate these generals. Say, hey, this one's bad at this. So people don't have to study, like encrypt all this stuff. Like make it internally there. Make it internally there. That's a quality of life. I would like to see, I hope this isn't just a complete like, I want to see this, I want to see that. But instead of going towards the Keep 40, I would like to see improvements. Add some food specifically for the dragons. I'm tired of using my materials. Materials are already hard enough to get these generals gear. And then I got to feed my dragons like leather. Why not have add a building? Just add buildings. Don't add keeps. Don't add like this and that. Add a building that allows me to build food for my dragon. I think that's crazy. You got to use your material that you use for your gear, and you either got to do generals or you got to do dragons. You can't do both at the same time. Why not? Add something in the game that allows players to find bosses rather than me scrolling through this. It's like where is everything? I'll be on the other side of the map. I'll be way up here. You got a 10-minute trip to add something where you can send a scout out or something like that, and he can come back and say, hey, here's locations for these bosses. So it's not a struggle fest to find bosses. Here's just little things. A big thing for me is add more resources to the game. If you are, in fact, and it's not just a publicity stunt, and you are, in fact, going to go to Keep 40, you got to up the ante on resources. Seriously. We get these resource tiles upgrades like, every weekend or so. These things bump up pretty good. But when it's not, it's horrible. Like, it's horrible. So get these tiles. Like, get ways for people to bring things into their keep rather than having to save all week. If I farmed all week, I could probably pull in 2 million food, right? I can't do a whole lot with 2 million food at my level. I can't. Maybe I can get more. Maybe I can get 300 million. I'm just using it as an example. I haven't done that research, but I have 6 marches now. So, I get an extra 5 million every 5 hours. So I get 20 million a day times 7, So just add more resources if in fact you are doing that, and add more ways for players to get speed ups. This is a thing that I saw from Mobile Strike that I played. When I thought it really weird. When you executed a general, you got a buff. Here, like, you execute a general and it's like nothing. You just execute him. You don't get anything for that. And add some information when I'm reinforcing buildings. Who actually is the owner? We had it kind of figured out. We think it's the last guy into the building. Their general will fight. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I used to think whoever had the general in there was the guy that fought for everybody. So I tell everybody to send troops, and then we got destroyed on the throne one time, and we're like, oh, maybe we need to add generals. I still don't even know who controls, who's the owner. Every time I get into it, I'm the owner, but my general comes up on a report. My general's not on a report, so I'm like, add this quality of life, add these things, let people know what's going on. You want a strategy game? Give us some ability to figure out strategies. this is what I would like. I'm kind of going back to Mobile Strike. I don't really enjoy the arrest warrant. It's way too easy to find players. It's very disheartening for a smaller player to go into another server and somebody is literally waiting to kill them. I've done it probably 100 times. I've had these players come into our server and I burn them and I destroy everything after they remove their bubble, right? So whether they waited 5 minutes or not, they poured it out and they attack somebody. These people literally go into on server war events. These people will come into my server and I will zero them within 2 minutes. Like, what kind of an experience is that for them? Make it more challenging to find people. You know, make it so that way, like my server right now, they're saying, hey, you know, we'll do scouting and this and that. I'm like, I don't really need anybody's help because I can just pull an arrest warrant. I can find these dudes in a second. It should be the entire server is looking for people, not just I can pull up 2 buttons, find a guy, and just follow him throughout the entire thing. Add that quality of life. That would dramatically improve your retention rate and bring in new customers if Evony would listen to the community. I know this is going to be, you know, a kind of a rant video, but I'm kind of disheartened by them just going to add an extra 5 keeps, and not hit a lot of quality of life issues. I think we need quality of life issues before we transition. There's so many things that need to get fixed. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great things. There's a lot of great things. I'll try to touch on it. I think, you know, dragons are cool. I can't think of anything right now because I got just a bunch of like improves right now. But there's a lot of cool stuff on here. Graphics are pretty cool. All right, so I promise you guys, I only got a couple more quality of life improvements I feel like Evony should do. Evony, whatever I said, before we get into increasing keeps. I would like to see it easier to transfer resources to individuals. I don't even transfer resources because I get taxed at such a crazy percentage. Like, the max you can get is, or the lowest you can get is 15%. Let me actually look at that before I put my foot in my mouth. I do that a lot. I do that very, very often. Oops. Look at me just slide over there. I'm at such a disadvantage when I'm playing this game. Embassy. Thanks for bearing with me. Transfer fees, 15%. I mean, the lowest you can get is 15%. The lowest you can get. Let's get rid of, like, why am I getting taxed? Who's taxing me? Who's getting it? Where is it going? I'm the king. Is it going to the king? When I was king, I never got it. Like, where is this? Is this just taking, like, resources? See, like, what is that about? So what I have to do is I have to use these war bills and send war bills, and I can only send 500K. I can't send my millions. Oh, it might be too efficient. Allow me to use more than 10 war bills. You can use 1 war bill and you get 10 items. If I have 200 war bills, let me use them all right now. Let me use what I need to use and do it once. I was transferring a bunch of stamina to this guy, and it took me like an hour to transfer stamina to a guy. I'm like, come on, man. Like, what is going on? And here's another thing. Refines as well. Add some feedback to refines. What I mean by feedback is, let's just say you have 50 failed attempts. Allow it either to refund you some, or allow it to, maybe it's not 1% to 30%. Maybe now it's like 5% to still 30. Excuse me. Or have it where you can pick. Maybe you can spend extra to have it pick just percentages or flat stats, right? So maybe I want to, experiment with flat stats. On some of my wall journals, I have flat stats. Allow me to to kind of manipulate things a little bit. Still keep it RNG. Still keep it RNG, but allow players to not have to come out of pocket so much. Like, this is like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. There's so many quality of life improvements. Let me know how you guys feel about this. I know it was a big rant video. I just don't think that we're ready for Keep 40. I just don't think we're ready. I don't know who Evony is talking to or what feedback they're getting. I feel like they're just aiming for the 5% of players, and the 95% of players who they should be worried about, they're just kind of kicking to the curb and leaving them hanging and dry. I don't think this is going to help Evony's retention rate. I think Evony is going to suffer for this, and I hate that. You know, we want more players on here, not less. They're trying to get more people to stream and get their name out there, and well, this ain't the way to do it. You gotta pump your brakes a little bit. Add quality of life improvements. I listed so many. Let's do that. So that's just my personal take. I don't think this Keep 40 is a good gig. I don't think that they're gonna like the outcome. I don't think any of us are gonna like the outcome. There's all these servers that have been popping up. They're gonna start merging. They're gonna have more Go cities. I mean, they're already merging cities or servers. It's just not a good look. It's disheartening for a lot of players. I know a lot of players in my alliance. They're not digging it. Like, they've put in so much time and effort, and now that goal line that they had is now way, like, almost unreachable. I mean, you're gonna need 500 billion resources to get there, and that's not even including speed ups. How are we gonna get these resources? How are we gonna get these speed ups? Attack the quality of life. You want to bring more players? Make the streaming a little bit better. Make a program that allows it to be smoother. Allow more, maybe make this screen bigger. So people when they're streaming, other people can see it more. I would also like to see just at the end of this, I think I talked about it before, especially for server wars, they want more participation in server wars. Server wars is mind-blowing. If you lose a full march, there's a lot of resources going out the window. You got to figure out a way. Maybe, after server wars, it's kind of like a battlegrounds. You get your stuff back, or 50% off all resources for the next 2 days. Something. Hope it wasn't too big of a soap opera for you guys. It's just very, I don't know if this is going to launch sometime this year, but I don't think it will. I don't think they can roll out it within a month and a half. Well, 2 months basically, excuse me. And have it be a smooth transition. Maybe they could. I just don't see it, but hopefully they make more quality of life improvements before they add the burden of 5 extra keeps. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know you guys' feedback. You guys like it? You guys dislike it? What did I miss? I missed something. Come on now. I missed something. What did I miss? Let me know your comments below. Like, subscribe. Sure, do what you guys got to do. You guys are already doing all that stuff already. Thank you so much. You guys obviously enjoying it a little bit. So let's continue on. Let me know what you guys got. This is Knox. We'll see you guys on the next video.